So if you get up early in the morning tomorrow and you look out on the east, on the horizon, if you want to find Matariki, okay, the best place to look, the best thing to find is this group of stars here. This is the pot. Okay, you all know the pot. Now, if you follow Tautoru or Orion's belt, these are these three stars in the pot, from left to right, you come down here, that you will see the brightest star in the sky. This is Hine Takurua, the dog star. This is Sirius. That's why Sirius Black turns into a dog. Okay? This is, if anything else is brighter in the night sky, it is either a planet, the moon, or a street lamp. Okay? And you need, and don't go right. So if you follow Tautoru from right to left, you'll come to this triangle shape in the sky. This is Te Kokota, and if you go just a little further left, you'll find Matariki. So whenever you want to find Matariki, you look for those three stars and just follow it to the left, and you'll bump into Matariki. Mike Rowa in his book says that Matariki is a shortened version of the name Ngā Mata o Te Ariki Tāwhirimātea. That's its name, which we have shortened to be Matariki, and then we get lazy and we call it Matariki. Okay, that's where its name comes from. It's Elton Best who says Mata equals eyes, Riki means little, so they're little eyes. There is no story to substantiate that. In the beginning of the world, Rangi and Papa were stuck together. Kei te mōhio koutou ki tēnei kōrero, tāne separated them. The God that disagreed with the separation of his parents, particularly because he loved his father more than the others, is Tāwhiri. And for the separation of his parents, Tāwhiri hated his brothers. And he decided ki te rāna ki te mate. He went to seek revenge on the separation of his parents. So he came across Tāne, and he grabbed Tāne by the neck and gave Tāne a hiding. Then he sought Tangaroa, and he grabbed Tangaroa, and he gave Tangaroa a hiding. Then he chased after Rongo, chased after his other brothers, and they hid. Tūmatauenga is the God of humanity. He's our God. That's who we're like. And all our traits that we have, all of the goodies, they descend to us from two. All of the good traits: jealousy, rage, revenge, anger, spite, they come from two. Only humans are like that. The other animals aren't like that, just us. And we are the kings at war. And so no matter how much he fought, whipped up his winds, chased after two, he couldn't defeat two. Once he was beaten by two, out of love for his father and spite towards his siblings, he tore his eyes out of their sockets, crushed them in his hands, and threw them to the chest of his father, and they stuck to his chest. Ngā mata o te ariki Tāwhirimātea. The eyes of the god Tāwhirimātea. Those are Tāwhiri's eyes. That's where Matariki gets its name from. That is a reason why you can always tell which way a bird's going to fly. Hey, a bird always flies with its head first. You can always tell how an eel will swim. An eel will swim with its head first. The tree grows a particular way. You can pretty much work out, if you plant a seed, it'll come out, shoot from the ground, it won't start in the air. Okay, you can always work it out, but you can never really work out the weather. The weather, sometimes the winds are northerly, westerly, circles, because he's a blind god. Tāwhiri is a blind god, and he's an angry blind god. And hence, this is the world that we have. So that's where Matariki gets its name from. And all of these names here are additional names for the cluster of Matariki. Ka pai? Mike Rowa gives the positions of the 9 stars of Matariki. He gives 9. Now, if others have 7, I don't want to say you're wrong. Okay, kei te pai, have your 7. Okay. They came out wrong. But have your 7. He just records a 9. And he says this is the position that they are in. He says why each is called what it's called. He says why they're located in this part of the cluster. He also gives a clue as to why he thinks the other 2 were missed out of the cluster, weren't named. The first man and the only man before Te Kōkau to name the 7 stars of Matariki was a man by the name of Hāmeora Pio. from Whakataane. He was the first, and he gave those names in his manuscript, and Best took those. And so we've all become 7 and 7 sisters. That doesn't mean that there were only 7. Maikoroa gives 9. Next year there'll probably be 15. Koe ka mōhio. But he says that this is where they're located, and he explains why. So I'm going to go through each of them and give you a little bit of a breakdown as to why they're called what they're called and what they mean. The oldest is a female, Pohutukawa. Pohutukawa is the star that connects us to the dead and our dead each year. This is a star that guides our mate across the night sky, night after night. I'll leave that, we'll come back to that. She's the oldest. The next is Papatūānuku. Okay, I've seen some fantastic translations of this. It's really, really dangerous at times to break up Māori words. Okay, more often than not, you can't do that. You can make them mean anything. Sometimes words are compound words, like this one. Tipu means to grow. Tipu means to grow. A, in this context, mean in. Nuku, the ground. Okay, this is a star that's connected to all the things that grow in your garden. Will determine how well it's going to grow in the upcoming season. Tipuarangi means to grow in the sky, and you'll ask what grows in the sky. Well, these things, anything that you catch and harvest from above your head, particularly the birds. Don't eat these. Waiti. Waiti means fresh water. If I say you've got a real waiti, it means you've got a clear and beautiful voice. So waiti, water. Everything that's connected to, this is connected to everything that comes out of the lakes and the rivers, is waiti. And waita, ta is an old word for salt, as in tōta. Tōta means sweat. Salty. Waita means salt water. It's connected to all of the animals that come out of Tangaroa. Waipunarangi, the water, puna, pooling in the sky. Okay, this is connected to rain. This star will determine what your rain and weather's going to be, as is this one. Ururangi means wind. Uru is wind. Haua uru, uru hau, uru tapu. These are all winds. And this will tell you how windy it's going to be, how dry your washing will be. And this is the last one, Hiwai Te Rangi. Hiwai Te Rangi, this is going to sound very bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, kind of wonderful world of Disney. But this is a star where we would send our wishes for the year, hoping that they'd come true.